I have no energy in this video. You guys want some energy? Woo! Whatever.
Digital gramophone makes no sense.
Hey, welcome. I'm entertaining today. I have some refreshments. Help yourself to a Tim Tam. They are imported from Australia via handbag by my buddy Dean. I have some coffee over at the coffee bar that I've made over there. And so, you know, take a Tim Tam Slam. Follow the instructions that are on the package. Bite, sip, slam. Bite, sip, possibly suck. Slam. Suck on some Tim Tams. While you're here, suck on some Tim Tams. Thing is, when your friend in Australia sends you Tim Tams, he also thought of the entire family, included something for the missus and the kids. Even though Inez, our 1-year-old, can't eat chocolate, Sam was very excited about it. Chocolate from Australia. I can't do it how he says it. But not only do you get that, you get music. And Dean sent me this this EP. It's a debut EP, right, Dean? From Andy Golage. Andy Golage. I'm sure, you know, actually that last name sounds like it probably really just magically comes off the tongue in an Australian accent, but is butchered by a southern United States accent like mine. Andy Golage. I don't even know how you say the title of this. Is it I don't know. Namoy? I don't know. N-A-M-O-I? Dean, when he entered my contest, showed a sound clip of Andy Golage and his band. And he knew that I might like it, and I did. And I asked him about it. I looked him up, and he's a talented singer-songwriter. Writes some really good kind of country rock, folk stuff. Just really known in Australia, I would say. I don't know. I was about to say regional, but he's probably, I would assume he's maybe even nationally known there. Could be wrong. Dean will correct me in the comments. I really, speaking of the fact that he showed a clip of this in of his band in my top 5 under 5, I couldn't help but get a kick out of the fact that the very first song on the album is 5 minutes and 55 seconds long. That's kind of cool, is it not? I don't know. Anyway, Dean, thanks, buddy. Really appreciate that. It was super nice of you. I had a Tim Tam the other night, and it was better than I thought it would be. It was really good. My wife said they're okay. And she's like the sweet freak. She used to do baking a lot when when we first met, and then, you know, the kids, all that shit doesn't happen anymore, which is fine. Hasn't kept me from getting fatter anyway. Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, you know. So, didn't realize until I just kind of looked at my situation here, what was laid out before me, and realized, you know, I've picked up enough albums to kind of do a finds video, pickups video. Wasn't really planned. Yeah, I got a nice, we got a bonus at work, so I stumbled upon some extra money and decided to treat myself. Also treated the wife. We finally got out for like an actual date night for like the first time in forever. All right, so let's just get into it. A couple of these I've shown, like these first two I've shown because I mentioned them in my video that I did with my son Sam, you know, exploiting my child on YouTube. The Rising by Bruce Springsteen. This is the recent reissue that fans have been waiting for a very long time. Some people are lucky enough to already have this on vinyl from when it came out in 2002, but it is super expensive now, used copies. And so very excited about this, and it sounds amazing. The Rising is an album that I love, man. I love the first three tracks. Nothing Man's a decent one. Counting on a Miracle is a decent one. Empty Sky is a great track. So the first 6 tracks that start off are just fantastic. Worlds Apart kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because of its sound. Let's Be Friends, Skin to Skin, in my opinion, is one of the worst songs that Bruce Springsteen has ever written. And the production on this of that song is so fucking cheesy. That song alone brings this album down so much for me in like my favorites within his catalog. But still, other songs like Further On Up the Road, Mary's Place, The Rising, of course, the title track is just one of my favorite Bruce Springsteen songs still. And then My City of Ruins, the album closer. Everybody knows that this came out after 9/11, and a lot of the songs are very much inspired by that tragic event. But it's also carried on and kind of taken on a life of its own. And I feel like it's kind of removed itself from that, even though, you know, it was, you know, you're never gonna forget the association. But for people that, believe it or not, younger people that don't even, you know, obviously don't remember that happening because they weren't even born yet. This is an album that I feel like they could come into and not even know that association and still really, really like it. Like my son does. He likes a lot of the tracks on this album. But yeah, I saw Bruce on this tour. It was the first time I ever saw him. And it was the night or 2 nights after Johnny Cash died. And I just knew he was going to do something. And to start the show, Bruce walked out on stage by himself, with the lights down, solo spotlight, and played Ring of Fire. And it made me cry. It was amazing. Just an incredible show. I've seen him twice since. They announced they're not going to tour this year. not an official announcement, but the word is that they're not going to tour this year. So I was kind of hoping, but you know, hopefully they'll tour next year. Obviously, the health of the band is important. I don't know if that's why they're not touring. Bruce has been really busy. I don't know how he did that Broadway night after night after night. I mean, how does he at his age? Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm rambling. What's new? Also picked up Devils and Dust from 2005. And Devils and Dust, as an album from start to finish, I actually enjoy more than The Rising as an album. Now, there are individual songs on The Rising that I love more than anything on this album. But the one song, and if you guys remember when I did a countdown, Long Time Coming is just, gotta love that song. Black Cowboys, wow. That one is a shining example of just what an amazing songwriter he is. And yeah, this is a really good album. Very underrated, in my opinion. Just a great, great folk album. This finally arrived, Doves, the last broadcast. When I showed Lost Souls in a previous Finds video, a lot of people were just like, yeah, man, Lost Souls is amazing. Last broadcast sucks. Or they never did anything better after Lost Souls. I think you guys are crazy. I think this is a great album. I think this is a great album. I probably lean towards Lost Souls a little bit more, but I think the last broadcast is stellar. I really do. Here's one that I was really excited about. Got a reissue. And I'm hoping that these guys can solve all of their legal issues and get control of their music again so that they can do their own re-release, their own reissues, especially of De La Soul is Dead, which I missed out on when VMP released it, and I just hate that I missed that because now it's like $100 online. But yeah, the Grind Date from 2004 by De La Soul, this is easily my second favorite album by them. Right after De La Soul is Dead, I loved this album, and I saw them. No, this had been out for a while. I didn't see them until 2009, but they were still playing. They were still performing more songs off of this one, and this is just a great album from start to finish. There's just no fucking bullshit on this. No silly fucking skits, really. No, nothing. It's just no bullshit. Straightforward. Great hip hop. Ghostface is on here. Common is on here. Flava Flav guests. MF Doom drops such an amazing guest verse on the song Rock Company Flow. Rock Co. Period Kane Kane Flow. Rock Cocaine Flow. It's just, I don't know. This is a stellar hip hop album. I love it. I love it. So I was really excited that got a nice proper reissue. But while I was at the store, I picked up, went into the used bin. I always do at Lunchbox. I really shouldn't, because I always make purchases, some that I just regret and they just go right back. Or this one I'm on the fence about. So this is an original pressing of Joan of Arc's A Portable Model of from 1997. This is her debut. So I saw this and I was like, holy crap, that's cool. That's a first pressing of a kind of a seminal underground late 90s emo record. Of course, this album features Kinsella, Mike Kinsella plays guitar on it. Uh, you know, relation to American football and other, emo bands. I mean, this was one of the albums in the late 90s, along with like the Get Up Kids and the Promise Ring, albums that I liked, that I had like a brief romance with in those days. Maybe a couple of years later than when they came out. But yeah, I mean, so I was like, hell yeah, the original pressing, I'll pick that up, and then I've listened to it since, and I don't know. I think I've kind of outgrown this sound to a degree. There's some really interesting moments on this album, but I just don't know if it's something that I really need to have. Yeah. And then this reissue of 1994's Tortoise, the debut album. It was $10. The sleeve is a little, it's such a flimsy, like kind of hand, like a, craft paper sleeve though. I mean, it's almost impossible in bins to keep that from not getting damaged. But the vinyl looks like it has maybe been played. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. This is a later reissue. I'm not sure which one, because it's been repressed by Thrill Jockey like a dozen times probably. But yeah, I mean, it's got the originals of this one did not have the barcode. Okay, so the last album that I picked up on that trip to Lunchbox is a brand new album by a singer-songwriter out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. His name is John Moreland, and this is called LP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. LP 5. John Moreland is one of the better singer-songwriters out there. A lot of fans of Americana are familiar with him and know how good he is. People outside of that genre that don't really follow that genre have no fucking clue who John Moreland is. He is, again, an absolutely incredible songwriter. Has a wonderful, soulful voice. At times, maybe not quite as rough and bluesy as Dave Van Ronk, but there's times when it reminds me of that. It's a little bit silkier than Dave Van Ronk. An incredible lyricist, a little bit more in the abstract realm, I think. His songs are not as direct as someone like Jason Isbell, and there are still, you can still tell there are stories being told there, but you can kind of make them your own a little bit more. They're a little bit more open to interpretation, for sure. So this is his 5th album, came out this year, a few weeks back. It was produced by Matt Pence from Centromatic. So this album has a lot more kind of studio production to it than his previous efforts. The drum sounds, because Matt Pence played drums in Centromatic, you can tell, and plays drums on this album, you can tell are, I don't know, there's just a lot of kind of effects going on, but they're used minimally. So it's still a very down-to-earth album. John Calvin Abney is a multi-instrumentalist from Tulsa as well, and plays lead guitar on this and several other instruments. He a lot of times goes on the road with John, and they perform as a duo, and he is super talented. They put on a really good show together, the two of them. It's really good. Again, LP5, It's his 5th one. I have a lot of his other, I have all 4 of his other solo releases. This is one that came out before he went solo, called John Moreland and Black Gold. He came up through like the hardcore punk scene. There's a lot of folks in Americana alt country that all got started in punk. It's almost like a rite of passage. Go, you know, start your punk band, get all tatted up, and then write a lot of sad bastard songs later, you know, later in life type thing. But this album is a lot more of a rock album, very kind of heartland rock, Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty-ish sounding stuff. This was his first solo album, which came out in 2011, Earthbound Blues. His next album was the one that was the first one that I got. It came out in 2013, but it's called In the Throes. And this album is amazing. It's really, really good. I was introduced to John Moreland via BJ Barham, who's the lead singer of American Aquarium. They toured together, played some solo shows together, made an Instagram post about John, and I decided, John Moreland, and I decided to check it out, and checked out this album, and it's fantastic. The song Blacklist is one of my favorites by him. It's really a fan favorite. I'm gonna try and include a clip of that, probably a whole performance of that at the end of this video. But yeah, this one is stellar. He followed that up with High on Tulsa Heat, which came out in 2015 and was critically lauded. He really started to kind of break through a little bit on another level. Was finally getting written about in places like Rolling Stone Country and things like that. And then after that one, he signed a deal with 4AD of all labels, and put out this album in 2017 called Big Love. And this is my favorite John Moreland album, from start to finish. The songs all the songs from start to finish are just his best set on a single album. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's fantastic stuff. This one again was critically praised. It showed up on some year-end lists. I think it was definitely one of my favorite albums from that year, from 2017. He's the real deal, man. A great singer-songwriter. There's a lot of them out there now. Singer-songwriters have made a comeback, folks. You'll learn that watching this channel. Hey, you probably fucking hate me for it, but it gives a shit. It's my fucking channel. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you. I started up the engine, headed for the place we met. I prayed to Sister Juliet, smoked 3 packs of cigarettes. I'm still trying to figure out forgiveness and keep track of all of my sins. Tell me you don't love me, and I promise I won't darken your doorstep again. sure ain't how I thought that it would feel to finally have made it. I've arrived alive in Danbury, damn, it's overrated. They put us back on the blacklist. Well, we never learned why we needed saved. We took a ride trying to hide from the god of early marriages and empty graves. And last night, New York City was heaven. Now I'm feeling low. Hoping hell would explode. We read all the right books. We sang songs we misunderstood. And with or without any reason, we did rebellion, what justice we could. So I'm trying not to think about home and all that I miss. I swallowed my pride and I cried, 'cause home doesn't exist. You said it's now or never. Well, I never stopped feeling that way. We get turned around, our spirits break down, and we just lie and say we're okay. And the older I get, you know truth, it gets harder to find. And famous false prophets get by off of robbing good men blind. Maybe I don't have it in me. Maybe it doesn't have me in it. And if I don't fly, that's fine. Just let me find the place where I fit.